Okay, if you own a Stihl BR800C blower, and that's the blower that has the side starter with the pull string on the left side of your hip. Now, I'm changing this primer bulb, which as you can see is rotted away. In order to replace that primer bulb, you have to remove the main cover. You've got to remove the air filter cover, and it's important because this screw holds on to another piece inside the housing area. So that's important that gets removed. Pull that out. Obviously remove the filter. You're going to remove the spark plug cover. That's going to expose two screws here and here. Then you're going to remove these two screws on the back cover. These two plus this third one. Then you've got one here and one right there. So you have to remove this entire cover. And you're pretty much left with these four screws and then these three long ones. All right. Once you get to this part here, obviously remove the spark plug wire so you don't shock yourself. Now the problem with changing out the primer bulb, as you can tell, it has clips. Unlike your older primer bulbs, it was connected to the carburetor. These new designs from Stihl make it a little bit harder. So it has clips with the two nipples for the fuel line and air and all that in there. And it also has a little notch. It's hard to focus on it, but there's a notch on the bottom, which is right there underneath. Right there is the notch. That goes in downward. The frame has a notch has a hole for that notch there. So I've tried to first take it out with needle nose plier, the two lines there, but I was unable to. There goes the two lines. I was unable to remove them with the needle nose in fear that I might rip the lines there. So now the clip is one right here. Here's a small clip. You can use a flathead screwdriver, push it in, it'll pop it out. So the best thing to do was to remove this whole section here in order to remove the carburetor to get to the line. So what you have to do is you have to remove here. You've got to remove this here, this one here, here. You've got to remove this and the one way back there, right there. You see it? To remove this entire housing for the air filter and then for the breather for the carburetor. Once you remove all that, the carburetor can slide out. Just be careful with the gaskets and any other rubber seals that you don't rip them. Once you pull that apart, I found that if you remove this line here, it's able to tilt more forward so that you can get to these fuel lines. Once you remove all that out of the way, pop this out. You can work with the fuel lines either with the flathead, pushing on with the flathead screwdriver or with the needle nose, just obviously being careful. That was the best way to do it. It's a little work, it's a little tedious, but it's the safest way of not tearing the lines. So hopefully this video helps, since there's no other videos out there for this particular model. Leave any comments down below if you have any questions. Thank you.